air, water, earth, fire. For hundreds of years, the four nations have lived in harmony. The Avatar, master of all four elements, was always responsible for maintaining the peace. But Avatar Roku passed away 13 years ago. Now, the four nations look to the air nomads to reveal the next Avatar, but the world is met with silence. Rumors from the Earth Kingdom abound that the Fire Nation is planning an aggressive move into the Earth Kingdom. 5 young heroes were too late to save the Southern Air Temple, but they hold vital information that could save the Earth Kingdom and maybe even save the world. Previously on the Flying Bison podcast.
A stranger reveals himself to Rozek, but is he a friend or a foe? As the crew debates this, King Malu offers to teach Chae a new form of bending. Will Chae catch on to this, or will he struggle with the source of his bending? Tune in this week.
This is it. This is it, everyone. This is the episode that ends all of our relationships.
Oh,
what?
Everyone's gonna die.
Yep, not our characters. I think this might be the last episode.
why?
What did Danny do?
What did I do?
Yeah,
Steve, let me tell you why. Danny ratted you all out to the FBI.
Unbelievable.
Everyone knows.
Everyone knows that thing that you did.
So might as well just come right out and say it now.
I can think of at least 6 things I did.
On 3, ready,
Yeah,
everybody? 1, 2, 3. I murdered.
Whoa, Justin.
I made up something. This is a made up crime. I broke a house. What does that even mean?
No, Steve, let me tell you why I think this is going to be the last episode, because we have a new Ember Island player member.
Hey.
And Caleb has submitted a banter question that might just change the game.
Okay.
If you were trapped on a desert island with one of your co-stars, who would you want it to be, and who would you definitely not want it to be?
Oh no. I already know most of your guys' answers.
As I said, I think this might be the end of the Flying Bison podcast.
I'm just gonna leave now.
So much
I might plead the fifth on the second half, but
I won't. I'm a Scorpio. I'll do it. I'll
What
say
brave
it.
soul wants to answer this first?
Oh no.
Can I get the question one more time, please?
If you were trapped on a desert island with one of your co-stars, who would it be, and who would it definitely not be?
Yeah.
I actually think we have some really good prospects for who we would want, which is good.
It's true. It's hard to pick.
Yeah, it's true.
it is hard to pick.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I think it's kind of easy to choose who we don't want to.
Oh, is that easy for you?
Well, for me, I'm not gonna.
I feel like I can say who I definitely don't want it to be, only because I'm related to this person, and he knows that I love him and spend so much time with him.
I love you too, Justin.
Sorry,
I
Danny.
love you too.
Here's the thing. I would have so much fun with
That's
you
probably why
on the desert island. But like we'd
be
die.
fine starving to that because we'd be doing like
Yeah. We'd be playing role-playing
because we've
games.
done it. We've done
we
it
would
before.
chip some dice.
We've played like one-on-one like RPGs like before, you know?
When we were sitting in the parking lot of Chick-fil-A
Waiting for it to open.
doing the first 100 and it was freezing. It was like the dead of winter, wasn't it?
I remember we bought
And we were like
we bought like hundreds of hand warmers and just put them everywhere.
Yeah, we had hundreds of hand warmers and we were just sitting under like 5 blankets each and we just took turns DMing for each other while we waited 24 hours in the parking lot of a Chick-fil-A.
They were fan-made Pathfinder like one-shots. Like one-on-one one-shots.
Yeah, they were good. They were fun stuff.
This is a really tough question, but thankfully I have handy a list of all of your faults.
Oh, good. I'm glad you keep that with you.
Actually pull out a book. Is that actually a book?
Yeah,
Book of faults.
You know what? I'll say the person I wouldn't want to be with is also Danny.
That's the one we're comfortable with saying.
Yeah, no, because here's why. Because Danny, I'm convinced, has actively avoided playing Halo with me on more than one occasion. Not just that
That's what it comes down
hasn't
to.
been available. I sometimes I'll send Danny text messages like being like, "Hey, how's it going, buddy?" Or like checking in, and he doesn't respond ever.
my god!
I told you this is the
Yeah,
end.
you need
This is
that
the end
level
of the
of
I'm
Five
so
Nights.
bad at responding to text messages.
It's Festivus because I'm airing some grievances now. You know what?
Oh my gosh!
Get the post!
All right,
It's time for the Peter Spank.
I would also pick Danny because this dude has missed like the last 4 weeks of our Pathfinder game.
Oh no!
Like we haven't played at all.
I like how it's
It's
what it comes
unbelievable.
down to.
I like how everyone has a list of Danny's faults.
Honestly, like I wouldn't want to be stuck on an island with you, Steve, because we were supposed to get tramp stamps together, and that's how I know we would also have too much fun that we wouldn't be able to survive too long.
Oh my gosh!
That'd
And
be
what other
incredible.
I don't have
conversations
any
have
room
we
left.
had that was like really great? That like we would probably just like die because we're on the
I was
same level.
See, I was feeling like I would really enjoy the conversation, so I was putting you in that slot for like maybe the yes. This is
Well, that's
conflicting me now.
But then like,
Yeah. I get you.
how
I
much
get
would
you.
we actually like put action into you know, trying to survive?
I'm so sorry. I have to back it up. You guys are going to get a tramp stamps? What tramp stamps
we
are
were
you guys going to
supposed
get?
to, yeah.
Yeah, that's why I want to
Matching.
know
Yeah.
what your
Of each
matching
other's
tramp stamps are going to
faces,
be.
or
Just portraits of Timothy Chalamet.
Yes.
Yeah, also,
Timothy Chalamet.
But like a Baroque version
Baroque
of Timothy
version of
Chalamet.
Timothy Chalamet.
Yep.
Yes.
tasteful.
Just settled right above the.
That's like
Your voice deepening for that line. That's good.
that's the only tramp stamp you can get.
Is a
Wait, yeah. Did you just say you didn't have room anymore? Did you?
Yeah,
get a
I
tramp
d-
stamp?
No, I don't have one, but I did
Oh.
want to make
Okay.
the joke.
oh.
I wanted to seize that
Sophia
moment.
just breezed
Yeah.
past that, and I was like, I'm
Nick
not
and
gonna
I
let
were
it
just
go.
like, wait.
Okay, though, but I don't think we've decided what the matching tramp stamp will be. If y'all all come in with us and do it, maybe I'd think of doing the flying bison. But right now I'm picturing, you know, those high school pictures that we used to do where like you like find some random object or banister and you like fold your hands neatly over it and put your head right over the top. I kind of want that
Yes.
right on the crest of the underwear. You know what I'm saying?
That's nice.
Just looking out, peacefully smiling. I haven't figured it out
because they
yet.
have to be matching, right?
I'll let you
so
choose,
6 months.
We're
Monroe.
all gonna have
I
Nick.
trust you.
Wait,
Yeah.
you saying Monroe's gonna choose for all of us?
And she said Nick.
We're all gonna get okay.
We're gonna get
Right.
me.
Nick, just right above,
And
all
I'm
getting
up to me
married.
as well.
Exactly.
That's what. So Nick should get all of
That is
us.
the best part.
It should also have a speech bubble that just says welcome. You know, just saying,
Welcome.
come on.
Welcome. Oh, no. I was just sorry. I had a friend in college who got an exit sign right above his butt.
I guess it could be hello there. Then it goes.
Hey there.
I remember my introduction to the tramp stamp as a child was Johnny English. Did you any of you watch this?
Wow.
movie?
Classic
Love
movie.
Johnny English.
There's a plot point where he thinks the villain has a tramp stamp that says "Look busy, Jesus is coming," and so he pantses the Pope because he thinks the Pope is the one with that tramp stamp.
The Bishop of Canterbury.
Or the
But
bishop. I apologize. I'm so sorry.
Thank goodness you were here,
I
Johnny.
vaguely remember that movie.
I watched that movie. I literally watched that movie like 2 weeks ago. That's the only
Yeah,
reason. It's like,
does it hold up? I thought about that the other day.
It does.
It does hold
It
up.
does.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good to know.
Rowan Atkinson has like a very timeless
Yeah.
sense of comedy, I feel like. And
Physical comedy. It's hard to go out of
Mhm.
style with physical comedy.
Facial expressions and stuff. Yeah.
Mhm.
So I feel like it's easier for me to answer this question through the dimension of like length of time in the relationship because that gives me the most information on how it would really play out.
That
So
makes
on
sense.
that score,
Yeah.
I have the least history with Nick. Justin, I have the most history with, and I've seen the most range of like life. So I feel like that's kind of my my yes slot. So that's what I choose based on that.
I forgot that we had a question because it's so trauma-inducing. I've blocked it out.
Let me redeem myself. If the goal of being the person I pick is to just have fun, then I pick Danny.
Aww.
He's the person I would least want to, but if I'm just here to have fun, I'm picking Danny.
I'm picking Steve.
If I want to get off, though, if I want to get off the island, I think I'm going to pick Nick or Johnny. And I can't decide between the two of them.
Yeah, I just picked Johnny. Between the two of us, we're getting off the island.
I think you're right.
I was going to pick Nick for the same reason.
Thank you.
I was going to pick Justin for the one I think I'd want, mainly for your reason too. We just play board games until we die. That seems fun. Yeah. I feel like I wouldn't want to pick Nick because I feel like we just end up arguing about like survival scenarios and like what to do. For some reason,
I feel like Nick and I right away would be like, all right, this beach is ideal for getting a boat's attention. This cliff is ideal for getting a plane's attention. This is where we can build shelter. There's fresh water over there, and like just figure all the stuff.
Yeah, be very organized.
I'd try like building like a Bastilla out of like coconut shells and palm trees, and Nick would try building a fire because I don't know what's more practical, and we just start arguing.
I just like if that did happen, like worst case scenario, I am stuck on an island with Danny.
Okay, I just have to confess that I can't. I have had too much experience in this context to fully separate Rozek and Danny at this point. So I'm legit I'm picturing Danny, who put some of himself into this character, suggesting pinchy prawns as like a real life survival technique. A plan which still has yet to have any real meaning.
Like Rozek, like 50% of those crazy ideas just kind of pan out for Danny. So that's why you just let him do whatever he's doing. You know,
we still have never seen pinchy prawns in action. We have no idea what it is. Rozek
the day will come. The day will come.
We almost did, didn't we?
We'll see.
Yeah, we almost went with pinchy prawns.
You almost let Rozek do pinchy prawns, and
we were
so close. That was a legit suggestion at some point.
Yes. Yeah. Awesome. You think that'll be satisfactory for this question, or are we gonna?
I think that's great. I mean, do you all feel? Is that it? Should we just be done?
I feel like we're closer now. I feel like we're all closer now. You know,
that's good. Okay, that's good.
Trauma bonding.
Honestly, if I was stuck on a desert island with all of you, I would not be unhappy.
We could keep recording.
Wonderful. We could keep recording. Yeah. If we were all stuck in a desert island.
We couldn't use the Wi-Fi to ask for help or...
we have phone hotspots.
Well, then why don't we just wait? We have a phone in this situation? Why don't we just call someone and get out of there? This is why I'm not bringing you, Danny.
This is what happens in that scenario. We're like 3 days in and we're like, oh God, if only we could figure out how to do this. And then he's like, oh, let me look it up. He just like starts Googling it.
My phone's the only one that's working the entire time.
It's like a Hello from the Magic Tavern type situation where we only have enough bandwidth to get our episodes up, but we can't do anything else.
Exactly. Every end of episode, we're like, hey, if you can send someone, we think we're here.
Every week, we're just guessing somewhere new that we are. Oh, that's funny. That's good stuff.
All right. Thanks for listening to The Flying Bison. Have you checked Bora Bora?
I hear that if you tell a friend, that might increase our odds of survival.
Oh my gosh.
That's so deeply depressing. It's hilarious.
I'm so happy to be here.
You might notice that Nick isn't on this episode. That's because we got desperate and ate him.
That's fair.
He will not be joining us for the rest of the show.
Including the vegetarian.
To be fair, he was the one person to write welcome in addition to his transcript.
Oh my gosh.
Didn't say exit only. or exit whatever.
Good question.
Good crew.
Good question, Lord Immortal. That was funny.
Keep them coming.
Oh, man.
Keep them coming.
Yes. If you want to submit your own banter question, join at the Ember Island player tier or above, and you can ask us any question and we'll discuss it nonsensically like we did just now.
Yeah. Thank you, Lord Immortal.
Yeah, thank you. Anyway, I have been looking forward to this episode for a while, actually. trying to think of one of the things I've been wanting to do is, as best we can without breaking the fiction, is to introduce new forms of subbending, or at least to highlight forms that haven't been seen too much in the shows. So I've been really looking forward to moments like this to delve into stuff that you don't get to see in the shows. Well, we know that Chae is, I like to think too that like that cutscene that we saw with Chae like going to see Madame Gao, like that, I think that's maybe going through his head in this moment. What do you think about that, Nick?
Yeah, no, I mean, he's constantly thinking about a lot of things. Chae's got his mind in a lot of places all at once.
Irons in the fire.
Yep, got plenty of those. So this is just another one he's putting in. He's another skill to pick up. It's another tool to use, and that's just kind of how he's approaching it. He's never had formal, actual earthbending training, so he's don't know how well this is going for him. I'm excited to find out if he was a good teacher. Probably wasn't.
Your firebending dad, if he was a good earthbending teacher.
No. I mean, Chae taught himself like earthbending, basically.
Gotcha. Yeah.
So he's self-taught.
It's very unrefined earthbending.
Oh yeah. And when he does all of his pseudo firebending, he is using firebending forms, so it's not earthbending at all.
It's really interesting because I feel like just like this is why it was such an interesting choice. Like philosophically, that's just because with Rozek, I feel like unrefinedness is somewhat a part of firebending already. Mm-hmm. So to like be like precise with your firebending, but it's not too out there. But I feel like a very unrefined earthbending is it's just like, I feel like anyone seeing it would be like, that's weird.
Yeah.
Like, who taught that person earthbending?
Yeah. It would feel very messy, right?
Yes. Yeah. Which I feel like Chae plays into a lot when he's fighting. Well, we'll see how messy this gets, and we'll pick it up. So you guys had followed Boomy all the way down under the palace, and it was dark. Rozek lit some light, and then eventually at some point you find all these like glowing crystals all around this giant open arena, and the roof opened and King Malu dropped down, took his shirt off, and said, "It's time for practice." And we'll pick it up right at that moment. I think as soon as he says that, he just goes, "All right, it's time for practice," and immediately just punches. And from behind him, the wall, you see these like tiny crystals shoot out from the wall. And as they're rocketing towards both you and Boomy, they just start growing in size. What do you do?
Chae's initial reaction would just be to raise up like a wall of just normal dirt, like stone, in front of them, just to try to like block it.
Yeah, totally caught off guard.
Exactly.
You just toss this wall of stone up, and you hear it hit the wall and shatter. And you look over, and Boomy's actually like, instead of protecting himself, he's caught it with his hand, and you can see that it's struggling. He's like pushing against it. It like hits him, and he like backs up a bit, and he's like pushing up against it. And then eventually you start to see this crystal start to shrink until it's a little bit more manageable. And then the inertia just drops the crystal.
So is that what we were supposed to do? I wasn't
Your wall comes down. I can see there's going to be a lot of work with you.
What? You mean no one's... I didn't know I was supposed to do that. All right, fine. Whatever. Shoot another one. Come on.
We'll start with the basics. Come here.
Something else. Okay. I walk over.
And he fires another crystal at you. I'm just kidding. Never turn your back, Chae.
I was walking towards you.
No, he beckons you to come towards him.
I walk up.
Put your hand on the ground.
Okay. And I put my hand on the ground.
What do you feel?
The stone floor?
No. Again. No. What do you feel?
The earth.
He sort of like sighs. Boomy told me that your unique style of earthbending, and I thought maybe, based on what he said, it sounded like maybe you could pick this up.
Pick the crystal bending up?
Where did you learn to earthbend?
Myself mostly, just trying stuff out.
But that's not where you learned bending from.
No, I mean, I was able to watch firebenders pretty closely. I adopted their forms, but it doesn't really always translate to earthbending. Usually it never does.
And he, without even a word, starts moving, like jumping and flipping around you in a very firebending style. And as he's doing that, you see these crystals like following his movements, and he's like growing them and shrinking them. And he flips around and lands back in front of you.
Oh, yeah.
Like that.
Yeah. I'll do the forms in response, sort of like doing the same movements and trying to feel the crystals and like reach out to them. But I don't think it'll do anything.
Why don't you roll to rely on your skills and training?
5 plus focus is 7. Hit, I do it. On a 7-9, you do it imperfect.
Okay. You are attempting to follow what you see the king do. And you're jumping and you're flipping around. And there's this moment that you feel the ground. And then you start to feel something in the ground. Something that's a part of the earth, but distinct from it. And you start to feel these like smaller, like hand-sized crystals, and you're jumping around. Now, as you're jumping around, you sort of kick one of them up, and it starts flying and increasing in size at Ren. So that is your unexpected consequence, or you can mark a fatigue, and we can narrate what that would be.
I'm gonna mark a fatigue. And
how do you think Chae sort of solves this situation?
So yeah, Chae is flipping through firebending forms, and he's, like you said, he had extended his consciousness a little. He was starting to get it. But I also think he was kind of thrown off balance by feeling this new feeling, essentially. And so he kind of trips up in the form and tosses it, the crystal that he had grabbed, much harder than he meant to. And to sort of catch it, he like overextends himself and brings up an earth wall in front of Ren to try to shatter it before it gets to him.
You do that. Ren, you just saw this crystal that was flying towards you, and then all of a sudden it's about to hit you, and this stone wall just shatters it.
All right.
Yeah, Ren like tenses up and was clearly not focusing, despite how interesting this is. Ren was just staring down at his hands where he's holding his new darts, his poison mixture, and he's just clearly very like focused on that, but he just looks like he got shocked awake.
My bad. Sorry.
No, don't apologize. You felt it.
Yeah, and then I almost impaled Ren, but it's good that I felt it. It's a good start.
And he bends down and touches the floor of the earth, and it starts to vibrate, and these tiny hand-sized crystals come up, and he picks one up and he hands it to you and says, This is a Genomite.
Okay.
It's one of the only places you can find it in all of the world is here.
Huh?
And for years, we've taught the royalty of Omashu to bend these crystals. We often use it as prison technique, case people in it and hold them there.
Pretty hardcore. So, can I make it smaller? You were making it bigger earlier.
With practice, yep.
And I
We'll
can take
start
a
out.
few pieces with it?
I was going to send some with you.
Awesome. Thank you.
And before you can sort of like turn around and walk away, he's like, Chae.
Yeah.
Do you mind if I ask you a question?
Not at all.
What does firebending mean to you?
It was the thing that I couldn't do. It was the thing that I always needed to remember I couldn't do, and I was always reminded I couldn't do. Why?
The act of firebending, the form behind the bending, is about passion, creation, and life. Firebenders are the only benders that don't manipulate something that's already there. They create fire.
Yeah, that's why they preach that it's the strongest element, the strongest form of bending. I'm aware.
And yet I've just shown you how to manipulate life and reality with earthbending. It's not that far off.
Well, it is pretty cool. I don't think it needs to be, an imitation or anything. I do appreciate it.
Not an imitation. Just a reminder that you choose whether you're an earthbender or a firebender. Neither or both. It's your choice.
This is one of those pieces of wisdom that I'm supposed to stew on for a while and eventually understand.
You're a smart aleck, aren't you?
Nah, never.
And he chuckles and smiles and starts gathering up some of these Genomite crystals and puts them in a little pouch and bag for you.
I'm going to try to grab one just while he's collecting some for me.
Yeah.
Not from him or anything, just one for myself. I'm going to try to just sort of like spin around and throw it from my hand, but also like enhance its trajectory and size as it's flying away from me. Kind of like I was doing before, but on purpose this time.
Why don't you push your luck?
Fair. 4.
Well, what did you try and do again?
I was just trying to, this time very deliberately away from anyone, but I was just trying to throw it, but also like make it fly faster and grow larger as it was going.
You start to throw it, and you throw it, and you're trying to feel it in the air as you throw it and try and expand its mass. And all of a sudden, you're brought back to this moment, and we see this like rock just shatter on a wall, and then we hear wrong again, and we pull back and we see Chae and Naozao, and they're in the training dojo that we saw at the end of last episode. He's like, I was wrong. Do it again, like a firebender.
The young Chae kind of shifts uncomfortably and tries to do the forms again.
You like take your stance, and he like aggressively is like moving you, positioning you in the way you're supposed to. It's not gentle at all. And we can feel that. The audience can feel how rough he is. You are, without a doubt, worthless again. And it cuts back to you trying to connect with this crystal. And you try and change its size and trajectory. And it just hurls against the wall and shatters. And I would like for you to increase your tradition and shift down your progress.
I think in response to that, and maybe to reflect a little bit what just happened, Jay's going to then, from one of his sleeves, just earthbend out an explosive pot and fire it at the failed attempt at crystal bending. Just explode against the wall.
There's just this like moment of silence as the king like looks up, finishes gathering these genomite crystals, hands you the bag and says, remember, you choose. Hands you the bag.
Yeah, we'll see. And I put the bag in my pouch. Thank you. I appreciate this. And, if you had some take-home, readings or scrolls, that'd be helpful, just so I can continue to refine it. I'll try to practice what you show me, and I've definitely got it to start. I appreciate that. Thank you.
If I wasn't clear, this is a form known only to royalty in Omashu. We don't have it written down. We pass it on orally.
Really appreciate it, then.
It's the least I can do.
Can you show me again?
He starts going through the forms again, and I think that's probably like a good like cutscene.
Yeah.
You guys are out of the palace now, and you got to decide where you're going to go next.
Can I just back up 1 second and do one thing I wanted Gemi to do?
Okay, 1 second. You were standing just outside of the exit to the palace, and you walk through, and then now we're at the. You guys are standing.
Great. Perfect. Thanks, Justin. No,
do you want to back up more seconds? We can back up more
I do.
seconds.
How many seconds exactly? How many seconds exactly?
However many seconds it takes for us to be back in that little underground area.
Sure.
With everyone walking
300 seconds, something like that.
No, 300 seconds actually. Rosic is in the bathroom.
Oh, okay.
You guys are just standing outside waiting for him to get out.
Anyways.
So Gemi's been off to the side, practicing, mimicking everything that the king's doing with his swords. He probably made a couple of comments to like Ren and Liko about how he likes to practice with bending forms because it makes him a better fighter. But when it's time to leave and everyone's going, Gemi's going to kind of stay back and see if he can get a second alone. And then he's going to move into the middle area and bend down and try and pull up one of the crystals.
Why don't you roll to push your luck?
6
total?
Yeah.
You're there alone, and you're trying to bend one of these crystals up, and as you're doing that, you hear footsteps coming back down, and you just hear from the top, you hear, I forgot something! Gemi?
Hey, Boomy.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't you say you weren't a bender?
I did say that, didn't I?
Okay, and again, correct me if I'm wrong, but that looked a lot like earthbending to me.
No, you're not wrong.
Come on.
You are. And I kind of put my hands up like I'm shrugging, and I'm gonna kind of shoot some rocks at him and like hold him in place for a second.
And he's like, I knew it. He's like held up like, look, I'm sure you have your reasons, but the longer you try and hold on to these lies, it will come back to bite you.
I think that you're right, and I agree with you. And I'm going to use my badge of authority move to show him kind of who I'm working for.
I love that. Why don't you? This is the first time he's doing this. Why don't you show tell the listeners what that is?
Yeah. So Gemi reaches into his cloak and pulls out the symbol of the Dai Li and shows Boomy that he's actually a Dai Li agent.
Is there a role to that?
No, I don't think so. Let me double check.
I think it has to do with you like getting them to listen.
Yeah. Oh yes, I roll a passion.
If you're asking them to do something.
Yeah. So I'm asking him. So I was shown that basically like, so I need you to keep this between us.
Okay.
All right. 7.
Okay. On a 7, they choose 1.
So.
Yep. Yeah. I'm going to choose for them. I think is what it means. So I can either
I figured as much. I was just going to read them out loud.
Oh, yeah, sure. If you want to.
Oh, sure. Yeah, they do it, but in a lackluster fashion. They say they need something first to be able to do it, or they do it, but they're going to talk to your superiors.
He sort of stares at you in the badge for a second. Says, I'm going to need to talk to your boss.
All right. I mean, you're welcome to go to Ba Sing Se.
Oh, I'll find my way there.
Hope to see you.
Just remember what I said. And he bends the rocks away from him and goes back down and starts running back up the stairs.
Cool.
And if there's nothing else, we'll cut
there's nothing else
300 seconds forward to when you guys are standing outside of the palace.
All right, a toilet flushes and Rosa comes out while drying his hands. All right, guys, sorry.
Man, that took like 300 seconds.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, man. That was really intense to watch. I get nervous. Yeah. All right, let's go.
Nervous poops?
I get nervous poops.
Rosix gets nervous poops.
Rosix doesn't like saying poop, though. So
It's
Senfen always said that was potty language, and he likes to respect his mother and all her wishes. So, all right, let's go, guys. Moving on.
Yep, let's go. Hey, actually, where are we going? We're leaving this city, right? Everybody's done with Omashu, right? Do we just want to go?
We need to.
Yeah.
Ba Sing Se needs the news, and Ru is the fastest way there.
We have had a mission that's been our goal since the start of our journey together, so I think we should start getting that on the tracks again.
Justin, real quick, as an aside, can we like hand wave that we collected supplies either from the king or with the king's blessing?
Justin
hand waved.
Justin just waved his hands for those who couldn't
very
see
erratically.
That. He very radically waved his hands.
Did Nick say erotically?
I can erotically wave my hands if you want me to, Danny.
Okay, this is okay. Let's go. We have fully lost control of the situation.
Okay,
all right.
Let's grab Ru.
I don't want to be a Debbie Downer or a negative Nancy or a sad Sally.
Okay, let's.
What's going on?
Grumpy Grant?
Grumpy Grant.
Okay.
Naysaying Nicholas?
Hit us with the news. Hit us with the news, Justin.
How are you getting to Ba Sing Se?
We're flying.
Okay, you got what I want to know. Are you going the most direct approach? Because I don't know if you're looking at the map,
but there's a giant desert
there's
in the way.
Big desert between you and Ba Sing Se.
Yeah, I think we should go around.
Cut to us being around a map. Yeah, we could just fly over the river.
Yeah.
So fly north to the river and then take that to...
Over the river and then through the woods.
I think that'd be...
Maybe over the woods as well, but you know.
No, we're going to land.
And just walk through the woods for no reason.
Walk through the woods.
Ru will be very confused the entire
my
time.
statement being accurate.
Your instincts are going to be activated in that time?
I think that's good. It's a lot more comforting than being over a desert the entire time.
Yeah.
We won't even lose that much time, really.
Yeah, I like that. Rosek also likes that.
All right.
So, Liko, you're the leader, right? And this is your dragon otter. What way do you think we should go?
I think we should go to I think we should go over the river. I think that would probably be the best way to go.
Then that's my vote.
Yeah. Why are you nervous? You never stutter. Ren's just looking kind of like curiously and raising an eyebrow at Liko.
I'm fine.
Weird. And then Ren just gets on Rue.
Like, Liko, are you fine? Your face looks flushed.
I'm fine.
Have you eaten yet today?
Stop it.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Get on. Will you just get on?
Okay.
This is gonna be
Gemi's going to lean over to Chae, who is the only one he feels like he hasn't bonded with at all yet, and just whisper, "It's because I'm incredibly handsome."
That is exactly why. And this is fantastic. I am having the time of my life. Anyways, Casa, Toko, you guys take care of yourselves.
Oh, yeah.
If you need anything, just guilt trip the king because we saved his son. You guys do you.
Oh, I'm great at guilt tripping. I'm all over that.
I'm sorry.
And so the master has become the student.
Oh my God. Wait.
Huh?
Don't think too hard about it. Just go with it.
You sound like your dad.
You know,
I
Casa's
thought I was
dad.
hearing Boomy's voice.
Oh, no.
My bad.
Dad's,
Cut that out.
Dad's dead.
What the heck, right? Dude.
Oh my God.
Well, I set myself up for that one.
All right. I think as we're like getting settled on Rue and packing up and saying our goodbyes, Rozik's going to try to find a moment to take Chae aside and talk to him for a bit. And he's just like, hey, bro.
What's up?
How's it going? I have a couple of things. First of all, I'm really sorry about my little outburst there. At least I said some things I didn't really mean. And you're like the only family that I do have right now. And I really want to keep that bond strong. So now that that's out of the way, I was thinking I'm pretty well versed in earthbending techniques, and it's never really come to mind. But if you're down for it, I'd be fine with setting some time aside, like whenever, to work at some training.
Yeah, sure.
If you wanted to, like, I could teach you to the whole like technique of waiting and listening and neutrality that I'm kind of used to.
Yeah. It's weird how compatible that was with firebending for you.
Yeah, I mean,
let me tell you, firebending forms are not compatible with earthbending. Well, I guess crystal bending. So,
that's also very interesting because this is just kind of like a look into Rozik's mind, but he almost kind of like hates like the firebending aspect of him, and he more leans into like the more traditional firebending techniques that Dosa taught him when he's more like emotional or mad.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and so it's funny because Chae said that firebending was always a thing he could never do, whereas Rozik almost wishes he wasn't a firebender almost. But Rozik is looking forward to working on some training.
all right. Well, thanks for the offer, bro.
Yeah, no problem, bro.
Well, you are flying on Rue, and now I think is a good time too, because Liko has her yip yip move, which doesn't trigger that often because usually you guys have rested. But when you and your companions travel via your animal companion, everyone clears a condition.
Ooh.
Which is pretty, I think this is the first time that's triggered because you guys, I don't know if anyone's had a condition when you guys have traveled on route before.
I still have a lot of those right now. So
yeah. So what, if you have a condition, what are you unchecking? And just give us like real quick, give us a little insight into how that works out in fiction.
I'm clearing out angry. That's the only condition that I have.
Rozak is also clearing out angry, so that makes his only conditions guilty and insecure, which I think makes sense.
Give us some narrative, though, both of you.
I think it's just quiet time up in the sky. I think this is like one of her moments where she's learned since having Rue that she values a lot like her me time, where she does a lot of her deep thoughts. And there's, even though like the rest of the guys are behind her and she can still hear them talking, I think it's just the fact that she is one with her, with her dragon and just flying above the earth. That's just very peaceful for her. And I think this is just something that's very therapeutic for her.
I think now without Osa, you're sort of also kind of the de facto spiritual leader as well.
Liko?
Sort of I think she's the most in tune with nature and the spirits and
her element.
Yeah.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Rozik, what about, was it that conversation with Chae?
Yeah. I think so too. And like, at least since they've been sitting on Rue and just flying, he was thinking on that a lot. And so he has been able to like let go of his anger towards the whole situation. But like as we're flying away, like he'll still glance and just stare down at Omashu as it shrinks in the distance. And he'll still think back to, Dosa and leaving him there. And he just can't help but shake the thought of, like maybe like we could have kept him longer, or like, you know, talked some sense into him, because there's definitely like an aspect of him that still wants to like bring his best friend back into his life. You know, he definitely misses Dosa like a lot, and so that is definitely bringing up a lot of like, you know, guilt and insecurities in him, as well as, you know, how he responded to Chae. Like he said to Chae, like he apologized to Chae in a way that kind of reflects Rozek is taking the full fall. Like Rozek was the only one, or else he feels mostly that he was mostly in the wrong there. Like he could have like stood strong and like just acted like the older brother and resolved the situation maturely, but he didn't. So there's a lot of things coming up in his mind in this, like, you know, time of rest on Rue that's bringing up a lot of regret in the past, you know, couple days.
Letting go of some of that anger.
Yeah, well, he's definitely let go of a lot of that anger.
All right. Anyone else? Does anyone else have any conditions they unmarked?
Ren feels noticeably tense. You can see Ren shuddering. But under the cover of the cold wind beating against everybody as we rise into the sky, Ren just kind of shudders more obviously now that there's an excuse. But something about leaving Omashu behind, Ren just feels able to breathe a little bit again, and fear just fades away from his body.
You're all flying en route, and you're flying, and some time passes, enough time passes that it's probably getting close to when you would need to land, find somewhere to land and rest for the evening. And thankfully you guys, you know, aren't so far from Omashu that you couldn't get back, but the probably the closest and safest place to land would be somewhere near the Kolau Mountains.
I'll pull up a shelter for us.
I'll catch up with you guys. And Ren just starts heading over, not too far, not out of sight, but just blowing darts at a tree.
Liko slides off of Rue and just kind of like brushes her hair just a bit, just to kind of comfort her because she's been flying for a while.
After pulling up some walls, some outhouse shape, Chae will start trying to mess around with one of the crystals and just not throw it, not anything bombastic, but just try to like change its size in between his hands as he's sitting.
Why don't you... I'm trying to decide if I want to actually have you roll. Yeah. Why don't you push your luck?
Yeah. 8. So better.
Nice. So you do it imperfectly.
Maybe I like shear the crystal in half when I try to make it bigger. Like it grows a little bit.
I think there's just this like quiet moment, and Liko is off, and occasionally you hear this as these darts are hitting the tree, and there's just this quiet, and then you hear as this crystal like cuts into your hand, it starts bleeding. I'd like you to mark a fatigue.
Ow. I'll, wring it out a little bit or whatever.
Does Rozek hear that?
Yeah. No, it's quiet enough that everyone hears it.
I think in response to that, Rosek's kind of going to rush over. Just be like, Chae, are you okay? What happened?
Yeah, I'm fine. I just trying to mess with this crystal. Moved in a way I wasn't expecting. Caught myself a little bit. I've had worse. It's fine. Just keep going at it.
Ren drops the darts for a second and just walks up to Chae and says, a lot of stuff that king said didn't make sense at all.
Thank you so much.
You weren't alone.
I had no idea what he was saying.
I don't know. But I think one part is that your firebending, dancing, and forms isn't all bad. And maybe you can trust yourself more. Like, you don't have to fight everything you learn just because of who you learned it from,
Does make sense, for sure.
That's the best I got from it anyway.
From the middle distance, you hear Gemi shout, "You just need to plant your feet."
Yeah, I'm sitting fine. And he was sitting down when he was trying it, and he tries to wide horse stance and tries to do it again.
I doubt it's that simple, Gemi.
A little frustrated this time.
As
it works this time.
Yeah.
You have a little bit more control over it.
Yeah.
And us non-benders shouldn't... What?
I think as Chae gets into that stance, Rosek's going to stand in front of him too and do like a wide like power stance or like horse stance. And so try a little more like this. He's kind of going to just run him through that as well.
Everybody's got input.
Yes, I was going to say, Gemi...
Mess around with the crystal.
Gemi's going to come over with his swords out and say, I know I'm not a bender, but I've watched plenty of them in Ba Sing Se. And here's the thing. Firebending is a lot more similar to airbending in the way that you interact with the world around you. You don't want to be rooted, but with earthbending, you need to root yourself to the earth. So a wider stance, plant your feet, lower your center of gravity. You're going to find it a lot easier to move the earth.
But the king used firebending forms when he moved his crystals.
Yep, but Chae doesn't understand the fundamentals of earthbending. How is he supposed to do an advanced earthbending technique if he can barely even put up walls without struggling?
Ren just looks super confused and walks away and continues blowing darts.
You've been entertaining up to a point, but you're really pushing the whole "we just met you" thing and saying a lot of my flaws in like 30 seconds.
Okay, well, I'm sorry. Don't improve.
We're just going to try to cut into this growing conflict that seems to be happening. I was going to say, Chae, I think, like I said, a big aspect of earthbending technique is waiting and listening. And I think that only doesn't apply to when we're in a fight, but it also applies to our progress in our technique. And I think just really accepting that neutrality and just being patient with your progress is a good thing too. You're not going to get it, especially with these crystals, like today, probably not even in the next couple of days. But I think accepting that is okay as well.
Appreciate the lessons, everyone. Literally everyone.
Nico, you got anything for me?
Nico, you want to add anything?
Rue?
Maybe Rue has some pointers. Yeah, Rue. You got any? Rue does have pointers. Okay, great.
I think now's a good time for us all to maybe eat. Did we bring food?
No, you didn't bring any food.
Oh, no.
We had
to back up.
no.
No.
Gemi also has food pockets. Just kidding.
Oh, I'm gonna miss Osa's food pockets.
Oh, no.
Oh, I got sad. Oh, man.
I got sad. Oh, we got a coffee episode now. We can't be sad.
Can you give us a little more about what's around us?
Yeah, there's a mountain range behind you, the Kolau mountain range, and you're sort of at the edge of this in a forest. It's pretty secluded. It's quiet. You haven't really seen anybody or anything. You see some wildlife here and there. But yeah, it's pretty much you're up against a mountain range in a forest.
Did we land close to the riverbed or?
Yeah, sure.
I'll keep watch, Ren says, and climbs up a tree.
I'll take the next shift.
I'll take third.
That's probably enough to.
No, that's enough.
Yeah, and should
Yeah,
someone
I would imagine
go
3 people would be enough.
Yeah, well, typically
We got some food from Omashu.
Yeah, we can start scavenging. Maybe tomorrow. Subsequent. Justin, you can tell me if this didn't happen. But Chae was kind of he was getting pretty irritated by everybody coming on him, so he looks down at the crystal that he was trying to manipulate, and it just has a bunch of random spikes and offshoots and random growths on it, and he just kind of doesn't comment on it to anyone, but he notices that it's there, puts it away.
Yeah. All right. You guys eat, bed down for the evening, and Ren was on the first watch.
Yeah.
Okay.
Peering out into the dark forest.
Gemi. Yep. 'Tis indeed a dark forest. What do your elf eyes see, Ren?
Wait, Ren's an elf?
Yeah, you didn't know that?
Everyone has their
only.
secrets. Oh my gosh.
I have no special abilities.
No. Ren, you nothing happens. You wake Chae up.
Yeah. Yep. Okay.
Chae, what are you doing to pass the time and keep watch?
Yeah, he continues messing around with the crystal.
Yeah.
He tries to fix the weird growths that he had put onto it unconsciously. He just spends as much time doing that. Maybe after a while he can't really fix them all, and he just starts pulling at them and pulling them out, making weird.
I think you're
shapes.
super wrapped up in this, just trying to practice moving parts of the crystal, and you don't hear the footsteps behind you, but you do hear someone go, "Just playing with the crystal, huh?" And you turn around, and it's your dad, Naozao, and he says, "Shh, don't wake your friends. I guess I'm going to show you. Come on."
All right, come along. Put the crystal in my pocket.
Don't worry, I don't mean you any harm. I'm not gonna take you. You can stay with your friends. I just want to show you something.
All right.
Start walking. You walking sort of like into the mountain range. It's like, how you been?
Doing pretty well for myself.
Look at you, look healthy, you look strong.
Yeah. How are you here?
Oh, I can be anywhere I want to. That sounds pretty cryptic, huh?
Yeah, that's pretty cryptic. Yeah. I'm getting kind of tired of that, to be honest.
No, I just, I'm the head of Project Spark. You know, Omashu's a big place. We had a big operation there, and, the strangest thing, too, it went sideways.
Really?
Yeah. See, the last I heard was that, I don't necessarily need to say who's in charge of Project Spark and Omashu, but they had access to the king, and everything was looking like the king was going to get taken out, but something happened.
Weird.
Yeah, you wouldn't know anything about that, though. Anyway.
Yeah.
And you keep walking, and eventually you get to this cliff face in the wall. And it looks like you can't move forward. And then you see this like little stone, this little indent in the wall that's got the Project Spark symbol on it. And he pushes it, and this door opens into the mountainside. Come on.
Okay. What are we doing?
I'm going to show you your destiny, Chae.
All right, more input. Let's go.
And you walk in, and as you continue down this cave, things start becoming more industrialized. It's like someone has set up like a factory inside of this mountain. And eventually you get to the bottom, and it's just churning with steam and heat, and you see hundreds of Fire Nation soldiers, Project Spark members, and they're firebending, and you can see them creating these metal plates on this assembly line. And as they're getting further and further down, you see towards the end of this cave, it almost looks like they're assembling, I don't know, you don't even have a word for it. We do, but they look like tanks.
What are those?
This is the future, baby. This is everything that I have built, and it was all for you.
For me?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, right. So, how does that pan out?
I know. You're skeptical, huh?
Yeah, I mean, you didn't teach me to buy everything hook, line, and sinker.
Yeah, that's a good point. Don't trust everyone, huh?
Don't trust anyone.
No, Chae, I know I was hard on you, but I did love your mother.
Yeah.
And this, what I've built with Project Spark, it doesn't end here.
For sure.
Right?
Yeah.
You know, there's always another end game, huh?
Always.
I've got the Fire Lord thinking that I'm building this for him. Chae, this is for us. We're going to take over the Earth Kingdom.
You got a plan for the entirety of the Fire Nation?
Look at this! And he like sweeps his hands out to this. You see now, like he sweeps his hands out and he points to this area where there's these completed tanks. And you can see there's just this metal monstrosity that's like rolling into the, like down further into the cave. And you see firebenders shooting fire out. He's like, there's literally no way that those dumb earthbenders can stop us.
I'm going to, so it's on like a stone, like road, right? Or something like that.
It's like, this is like a vast opening. It's almost like someone hollowed out this mountain.
Okay.
The inside of this mountain in order to create this ginormous factory.
How far is the tank away from me?
You guys are probably pretty far from the end of the assembly line, so you're like closer to the start of the assembly line.
Okay, never mind. I'm not going to do it. That is pretty impressive. Can't lie. I mean, it'll be you. I mean, it'll be us versus the Fire Nation and the Earth Kingdom.
I mean, we've already taken over most of the small cities, and with the exception of Omashu, I mean, we're poised to take
the other
Ba Sing
one.
Se, and
yeah, I mean, Ba Sing Se is a big deal.
Yeah. Your old man's got plans, though. You don't have to worry about that at all.
All right. Well, do your plans include killing the Earth King?
Look, I gotta know I can trust you, because, I don't know, I've been hearing some rumors. Rumors that, I don't know, you're kind of standing in our way.
I wouldn't do that.
I gotta know, Chae. Are you with us, or are you against us?
I'm with you.
And I think at that point, we cut back to your campsite, and thankfully Gemi's a very disciplined person and wakes up exactly when he needs to. You do not see Chae anywhere.
I'm going to look for footprints.
Okay.
I'm like see if I can see any like sign of him like walking away from camp, but I don't see him here.
Yeah.
We go always in suspicion of this new guy, her eye just like pops open and she just keeps an eye on him. Doesn't trust him.
Getting a little late night peek, I get you.
Dear God.
You said that? I didn't say it.
Gemi, why don't you... that sounds like a rely on your skills and training. I'm sure you're probably pretty familiar with tracking footprints.
Yeah, I got an 8.
An 8?
Yep.
Okie dokie. With an 8, you do it, but you do it imperfectly. Okay. You start to track them. Here are the consequences, though, if you want them. You can lose them, lose the footprints, or you can continue to follow them, but something will happen before you can find the end of the footprints.
Yeah, no, if I think that starting to lose the footprints, and Gemi will lose them, but what he'll do is he'll send Lemmy up a tree and tell him to come, like I'll say, come and find me as soon as you see Chae. Keep an eye out in this area. The footprints end there. I'm guessing they're in that direction. Keep an eye out. Come and get me. And then I'll go back to get in position to keep watch.
Okay. Well, let's cut back to inside of the Kolau Mountains. Now, as I was just asked Chae if he's with you or against you, and you've said you're with him.
Yeah.
Good. That's what I wanted to hear.
Yeah, I mean, this is my plan, right? I've been operating. Yeah, you didn't want to give me a chance to do my own thing. And I understand maybe you're worried about me, probably not. But, here's my plan. I'm with these kids, right? These young heroes, they all have, sob stories and whatever, and they watch the destruction of the air temples and whatever. And we're going to go report it to the Earth King, and we're going to be heroes of the Earth Kingdom, right? We're going to be right next to him. We'll be right there. I will have access to the Earth King, which I don't know what your plans are, but that's not an easy thing to swing. So, swing it.
He sort of eyes you up and down. And so the student has become the master.
People keep saying that to me. I don't know what it's about. I mean,
No, it's...
No credit
I'm
to
impressed. I'm impressed, Chae. That is a foolproof plan right there. And I mean, I have to say it's not totally a surprise. I know you've been with these people, and I know that you lost the airbender, right?
Yeah, I mean, he was just more proof, right? Everyone's going to listen to the surviving airbender, right? But I think we've course corrected enough. We're still to be heroes.
Good. And you got rid of the airbender.
Yeah, I mean that was Saikon. Well, it's really the airbender. I don't know. He just really didn't like Saikon. Or she. My bad. She. That was she who got rid of the airbender. Well, really, the airbender got rid of himself.
Did you meet her?
Yeah, briefly.
Kinda. She was.
He was a little unhinged. Yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't speak to her very long. Gonna be honest. The airbender really had it out for her.
Yeah. All right. Well, look, we've got these places all over, but I'll start my guys working on something for you. Something real discreet that you can use against the king.
Perfect.
Well, I'll have the contacts meet you in Ba Sing Se. Or before. I don't know.
All right. Yeah, that sounds good. Yeah, whenever, if you could let them know about my particular range. It's best, obviously, if they aren't seen by the rest of the party, because then it has to be a fight, and I'm trying to avoid that.
I understand. Well,
but also, I mean, leave some, poorly performing project members.
The grunts. I got you.
Yeah, put some of those in our way on purpose.
Oh, I got the perfect guy for you.
Oh.
He's Two Fingers Tommy. He's...
No, I heard the boys talk about it. Yeah, no, that guy, he's just
Do you know, I asked him to just, get me a dumpling the other day, and he comes back with a cabbage.
What?
And it had coal on it.
What? How do you...
Who would eat a cabbage with coal on it? It's ridiculous.
Well, I did meet one guy, but he seemed pretty... I don't know what was his deal. But, yeah, I don't know what's wrong with that Tommy guy.
Yeah, we'll send Tommy.
Perfect. So, yeah, we'll, keep fighting meaningless battles and try to be as non-effectual as possible, but still, heroic, and then easy access to everything.
Now, I have to ask, And I'm trying to do this in a way that keeps the mystery for the players as well. So how about this? I'll text you. Okay?
Okay.
Because I think there needs to be some sort of role for this.
That's fair.
We call him Tommy Two Fingers. We call him that because he only has 2 fingers.
No, it's he actually has 12.
Oh.
It's the 2 extra.
He's got 2
It's
extra.
the 2 extra ones.
We call him Tommy Two Fingers because he has 2 extra fingers.
Yeah, like how he's like, all of a sudden he's from Boston.
But
He's
great
like,
hands for holding a
Tommy Two
cabbage. You know what I'm
Fingers.
So
saying?
Project Spark is literally.
Yeah, he can
So Project Spark is literally just the mob.
Yeah, that was the point.
I love it so much.
I picked up on the vibe that Nick was putting down.
Thank you.
We call him Tommy 2 times. We call him that because he says everything 2 times. Hey, how you doing? How you doing?
Hey, not bad, not bad.
Hey, not bad, not bad.
I rolled.
He's only said hey once.
Oh, inconsistency.
What did you roll?
I rolled a 10. Wait, make sure I'm rolling with the right thing.
Nice.
Yes, I did roll 10.
You got Tony Pajamas, Giuseppe Provolone. The whole crew is here.
The whole crew is
Gabagool.
We got gabagool.
Did you say 20 pajamas or Tony pajamas?
Tony Pajamas.
We call him 20.
No,
Tony
20 pajamas.
Yeah.
Everyone knows
There's a
what
list
Tony
of inventory.
pajamas.
We got 20
We call
pajamas.
him 20 pajamas because he has 20 pajamas.
Who needs that
He's
many?
got a
Am I right?
circulation disorder. He needs a bunch of pajamas to
He's a
stay
bunch of
warm.
pajamas. He never wears the same pajamas twice in a week.
He's the most anemic guy you'll ever meet.
Cold as ice.
Cold as ice.
His fingers are always blue. No circulation. He's real sensitive about the blue finger, so we call him 20 pajamas.
Yeah, we were going to call him Tony Blue Fingers, but he didn't like that.
Plus, we already got
So
the
we
finger
call him
guy.
Tony Two Fingers.
Yeah, we only have one
It
finger
just
guy.
got too confusing at that point.
What is going
One
on?
fingers and 2 fingers. It's too much.
Just trying to roll my dice.
No, they're filling this space.
We're filling the space.
Perfect.
Great. Okay. He says, okay, all right. I'll let you get back to your friends now. It's a good plan, Chae. Look, here. And he takes off his necklace that's got the Project Spark symbol on it. And he hands it to you. It says, use this and you'll be able to convince Project Spark members that you're working for them.
I've been able to do it pretty well so far, but I appreciate the added collateral.
And I'll text you.
Okay.
Text you.
Well, thanks for saying hello.
Oh, no, it's always good. It's like a family reunion.
We always talk like this. All right. See you later.
Family
Pops.
reunion minus 1 entire son.
Hey,
Feet away.
remember, this is for you. And then someone calls him and he's like, I'm coming. And you can walk back to your friends.
I do.
You start walking back and I think we cut to Gemi, and Lemmy comes to you and starts like frantically.
Gemi looks at Lemmy and says, good job, buddy. Gives him a little treat and says, you're a shadow now. All right? Something's going on. You keep an eye on Chae. You let me know anything you see.
He does like a little salute. And you're watching, so you want to... you would see Chae come back unless Chae like intentionally tries to sneak in.
No, he just walks back.
Everything all right, buddy?
Oh, yes. All right. I thought I saw somebody.
Oh, yeah. I mean, next time maybe just wake us up so we can try and figure it out together. You don't want to end up alone in the woods with the enemy, right?
You got me there. I wasn't sure. I don't know.
I'm just saying, just be careful. It's all right. I mean, I woke up on time anyway.
Yeah, no, that's really impressive. Sorry, I was late.
No worries, buddy.
Hey, you got it. All right, I'm going to go to sleep.
Yeah.
See you in the morning.
Yeah, see you in the morning. Once
You beat
Chae
him to
goes
a pulp while he falls
I
asleep.
beat him
You're
to
not
death.
you're not going to roll suspicious mind, Gemi?
I don't have that.
Oh.
I'm not a guardian. No, but once he is laying down and similar to at Toko's house, I'm waiting for it to seem like everybody's asleep and breathing has evened back out. And I'm going to go over to Rensong's sleeping area and try and sneak out a couple of darts and some of the poison that he has.
You find Ren literally clutching it against his chest. His left hand is wrapped around it tightly, and he doesn't seem to be sleeping well. He's kind of moving a little bit, mumbling something indistinct. He looks very tense. Occasionally he shudders.
Well, in that case, to sell the illusion, I'm gonna kind of shake Ren instead of trying to steal from him.
What are you doing, Gemi?
You seem like you're struggling. Just want to make sure everything's okay.
Yeah, I guess it was just a bad dream again.
You should maybe actually lay down and try to get some real sleep.
Ren was laying down.
I thought you said he was sitting up.
Did I say that?
Sorry. Maybe
My bad if I did.
He was standing straight up.
Oh, curled up. Yeah, maybe that's what I missed.
Yeah,
You know how you do.
You know how you sleep
You know
stand.
how non-benders sleep stand.
Yeah, it's only a non-bender thing.
Non-bender.
Yeah, non-benders and horses. Anyway, sorry. Okay. Yeah. No. You should try and get a little more comfortable or something. I don't know. Is there anything I can help you with?
No. It's okay. I'm sorry if I was talking in my sleep.
You weren't. You just looked like things were rough. I'm always here if you need to talk. I'm gonna go keep watch.
Ren sighs, but rolls over and closes his eyes again, still clutching the darts.
Okay, so he wasn't successful in stealing it. Okay.
No, because Ren was not actually out, so he didn't even
just
try.
got that eye open.
Still.
Gemi walks back and sits down to keep watch, and the camera pans over to Liko, and her eye has been on Gemi this entire time. So she saw him sneak over to Ren, look like he was about to take something from Ren, and realize he couldn't, shake Ren awake and have a conversation, and then go back. Liko, he doesn't do anything the rest of the night, so you try to get a little sleep. The sun starts rising. As the camera pulls back and fades away from you all, we just hear the sounds of a forge and firebenders making something. And we'll see you next week.
I love how everyone in our party is so trustworthy right now.
So
we can all
good.
trust each other so much.
You can
Yes,
trust
just
Chae with your life, all right?
Well, Rozak does.
Will that come back to bite him? That's the question. Well, that was fun. Not
Yeah.
really like a cliffhanger, but a good end to that episode. I feel like they can't all be cliffhangers. I'm not a machine of cliffhangers.
I mean,
He's
we
not
were
a
by a
cliffhanger
cliff.
factory, everybody. Come on.
Well, thanks for listening. This is a good episode, and I can't wait to see what happens. Can't wait to see where this keeps going. This is good stuff.
You're gonna have to.
We're gonna have to, I guess. I guess we're gonna have to keep doing this podcast. So
Ugh.
they have us captive, and they're making us do this podcast.
Our fans won't let us stop.
No, it's
They haven't given us enough 5-star reviews. They won't let us out.
all right. Yeah, I mean, you can give us 5-star reviews. You can also check out our Ko-fi. Feel free to, check that out as well. We've got membership tiers. Like I said, we just got another member, which is a lot of fun. We're planning to do our first meet and greet, which is going to be for anyone that gives at the Ember Island player level or above. So once we figure out the dates for that, we'll let everybody know, and we'll find a time. And if it doesn't work, there'll be more. So if the date doesn't work, don't worry. We'll find more times to meet and hang out with you all.
And write us a love letter.
Write us a love letter. Yes. We got entered into a, I gotta find the link. I'll put it in the show notes, but we got entered into a contest for new podcasts. It's specifically, to give money to podcasts that normally wouldn't get funding at all. So it's for new podcasters and new podcasts. So we're entered in that. You can find the link in the show notes, and I am pulling up the link right now. It is www.podcash.com/love-letters/PBAA5. And I'll put that link in the show notes as well too. Writing a little love letter for us helps us get in front of the people running this contest, and increases our chances of winning up to $100,000, which would be pretty sweet.
Incredibly helpful.
We would obviously incredibly helpful. We would just take that and make this the best freaking podcast ever. And so,
we're already pretty close. So
we're pretty close. I mean, it's like
it might be hard.
it's like This American Life and then the Flying Bison podcast. And then
because those are the
everybody else.
same category. Yeah.
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 Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
if you want to check out our Ko-fi as well too, do that. Definitely write us a love letter or tell a friend. The more people that listen to us, the more people that write love letters and hang out with us and interact with us on Discord, the better. I did hear too that for every friend you tell, Johnny will write a piece of Avatar fan fiction that's exclusively just Aang dreaming about eating different types of meat.
Yeah, I've already been working on it.
What's the first one?
Oh, the first one is actually, people might be a little bit upset by this one, but it's him doing flying lemur and trying to
That's a little controversial, but I like the entry into it. Yeah.
That's a hook. I'm already pulled in.
Yep. I want to see what else is happening here. All right. Well, look out for those fun fanfics, and we'll see you next week.
Lord.
Bye.
See you.
Bye.
Avatar Legends was developed and produced by Magpie Games. The worlds of Avatar The Last Airbender and Avatar The Legend of Korra are property of Viacom CBS. Intro music is Dizu by Sendai. Outro music is Tokyo Funk by LATG Music. Logo and art by Kate and Matthew Menke. You can find more of their work at pomakin.com, link in the show notes.